Hello everybody, and welcome back to Binding of Isaac Repentance. Last run, we got the Bible and won quite easily. I think this time, we're actually going to try and unlock some other characters. I honestly don't remember the unlock conditions, so we're going to read through. Seems like we just need a lot of things in excess. Hearts, pennies, not picking up hearts, not taking damage, stuff like that. So I think this is definitely possible. We're going into this run with the objective of getting those, so we're going to try our best not to take damage or anything in this first floor. I don't think I can actually go into the sacrifice room or whatever this is called because of that challenge, so we have to leave it. Just got to be very careful, play very strategically, and I think we should be able to get at least 2. Maggie is kind of just dependent on what items we get. If we can get heart containers. Okay, it's a little nervous. We managed to slip through the gap. We also don't want to pick up hearts, so if we do take damage, we just have to ignore that as well. A nice easy room, hopefully. And a lucky gold poop as well. That'll be good for getting the 55 coins we need. But how are we doing today, guys? I recorded some other videos today. The potion crafter video and the cookie clicker. I do all my recording on mostly one day, so, but I spread out the videos, and when they come up, it's just so a video can go up mostly every day, and then I have time to do things I need to do, like schoolwork and things like that. My commitments as a student. Oh, we got a soul heart, that's good. I don't know if it counts to pick up soul hearts or not. I know there's one where I had to have soul hearts to get blue baby. I think to be safe, we're just not going to pick up any hearts at all, considering it is technically a heart to pick up a heart. Okay, let's see what this item is. Okay, we got this one last time. We don't want that, so we're gonna use some coins to get hopefully something different. I don't think we want that either, so we're gonna bomb this. Stitches is good for us. It allows us to teleport to where Stitches is, and it does some damage too. It's kind of dangerous to do because we don't want to take damage, but we can do it to escape situations at least. I think I also can go in here for free now because of this. I think we can. I still don't want to pick those up out of fear that it'll mess things up. So we're going to move on. Yeah, like I was trying to say, I record all my videos on the same day. I've honestly genuinely had some fun kind of diversifying what I was playing in comparison to what I normally do, which is Dead by Daylight. I'm also just trying to experiment more with my commentating, and you'll see that in especially Cookie Clicker, if you haven't watched that, where I'm kind of trying to be, I don't know, try to make it more of a story, considering there isn't much content necessarily to the Cookie Clicker itself. Kind of have to make your own entertainment out of it. These battles are going really slow. Our lack of damage is apparent. Oh, that sucks. I was so afraid of getting hit this whole time that I didn't want to get hit. I think Samson's off the table. Coins are still on the table. Hearts are still on the table. Like heart containers anyway. Let's check for the secret room. Nice. Really need some damage. That would be the best thing right now. Any form of damage. We have an arcade as well because we got those 5 cents. Let's check it out. Nothing we really want to do in here because I don't want to, I mean, I would use the blood donation machine, but I want health just in case things go awry. We don't want that. I think we're better off with Stitches. Very afraid to do that. I know it gives you some invulnerability, but I just don't want to die. Oh, there we go. Got some usefulness out of it, except I was going to bomb anyway. Very nice. Anyway, it's been a bit since we played Isaac. Figure we catch up a little bit. I'm honestly going to use, I mean, I asked a friend like what I should talk about, and they suggested to me that I talk more about like my life and like things that are going on in my life, and I think that's a great idea. Kind of like a vlog, but you know, not with the formality of it, I guess. The other day, I did have an exam. As I mentioned before, I'm a student, and I was studying for anatomy and physiology, and it's not an easy course. It's definitely a course that you have to study, or else you're not going to do well. And a lot of people aren't doing that well, but I'm a pretty good student overall, I would say, and I try to take my education seriously because I am. Whoa, okay. I am paying money. I'm paying out of pocket to go to college. for them because I really don't want debt. But that also means don't really have room to fail either. So it does put some pressure on me, obviously, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think some people don't take college serious enough. Obviously, when you pay that much money, you definitely don't want to fail. But yeah, we take Sackhead here. It's definitely worth it. It's a funny story because I went to the college because I had to take my exam in class. It wasn't online or anything. And obviously you don't want to be late for an exam. You want to have it be as not stressful as possible. So then you remember all the things that you studied hard to remember, but as it turns out, things happen, of course, at the worst time. What is it? Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Something like that. I get there on time. That's not an issue, but I use an iPad for school, which is a cheaper alternative to getting an expensive computer. And at the time, when I was a freshman, I'm a sophomore now, it was the best option for my money. And I had no idea if I could actually, get away with that, if I was actually going to be able to do college with it. And for the most part, it went really well. But sometimes instructors, we don't want any of that for like quizzes and whatnot. We'll use Respondus Lockdown browser. And if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a thing that the professor can use to monitor kind of what you're doing on your computer while you're taking the test. Not necessarily on the screen, but like Respondus itself kind of locks your computer so you can only take the test and you can't tab to anything else. And it has a camera on you so you can't have like things nearby you keep looking at and whatnot, because then they'll know you're cheating. Basically, it works a lot smoother if you actually use it on a computer. And the iPad app, if you look up Respondus Lockdown, like as an app, it has like a 1-star. It's terrible and it's not ideal, but since I use an iPad, that's what I have to do. So that wasn't working. So I only had like an hour to take this exam, and the class period was already quite short and my time is just ticking away. I mean, I eventually started the exam maybe 15 minutes later because the professor was helpful and helped me sort through the problem, but it definitely freaked me out. When something like that happens, it kind of puts you into a panic. So I definitely was not remembering things that like should have been easy to remember and things I definitely studied for, which I mean, I want to do well in the class just because there's a stipulation where if you get a 92 overall, you don't have to take the final. And I'm all for not taking finals because, the less finals, the less stress, the better. Okay, whoa, that was close. Oh my gosh, this feels like it's taking forever. Yeah, but I'm all for not taking finals, so I'm kind of a tryhard when it comes to school. I really want to avoid more work than is necessary if possible. I think we're actually going to utilize Stitches more because he actually does do quite a bit of damage, and he does give invulnerability. I'm just kind of being let's face it, a pussy about it. Very good. Again, afraid to pick up any hearts or anything like that, so just gonna leave that alone. Nothing we're interested in here. Bomb this guy. I wonder... Now I'm starting to wonder if I don't even have like secret rooms unlocked yet, because I feel like I've bombed areas where there definitely probably should be one, but there just hasn't been. Maybe they're just something you unlock. I just have actually no idea. Okay, that was scary. Good thing about Stitches, you can get out of situations if you're fast enough, and Stitches is in a good location, of course. We could risk... not risk. We could just decide not to get our treasure room, so then we have a guarantee that we get through a full floor without 2 floors without taking damage. Or I don't know. I don't remember what the things are anymore. God, I was focusing on Stitches. Getting a little sketchy, but we recovered. Oh, I don't know if that counts. Although, if we did pick up the soul arts from before, we actually would have unlocked someone already, so... I don't know if that was the right call not to pick them up. Okay, whoa. I do not like how I'm playing. So after being panicked, going back to the story, after being panicked, I eventually calmed down, and the professor was really nice about it, and I made sure to thank him a lot. Probably one of the only people in that class with an iPad. The only one with that problem, thus. So I'm glad that he put up with it, and he was really nice about it. And then after the exam, we talked for a little bit, and we genuinely connected on like a few points, like how we feel about school and whatnot. And he was nice enough to like talk about like how in the future I can just take the exam without Respondus, because he believes that I'm not going to cheat and I made it clear that that's not my goal for the class, and now I genuinely just want to learn the material that's being taught because it genuinely interests me. And what's the point of going to school if you don't actually learn anything, you know? I don't see any reason not to, I don't think. But it's always a big question, you know? Is school worthwhile? No. I don't know if that counts because, like, it probably does. It probably counts against me, even no matter the damage I take. I'm not very good at this whole, you know, not getting hit thing. That's alright. I feel like we are going to get at least something in this run. And that's all we can really ask for. Whoa, okay. Once again, very sketchy plays I'm doing. Get rid of the flies. They're the ones that I'm most afraid of. That's the thing about college. I graduated high school in 2020 and honestly had absolutely no idea what I was going to do with my life or where I wanted to go or what major and all these questions. And obviously the school tries to prepare you and tries to get you to think about it and consider your options and helps you find schools and whatnot. Those resources are available. Nothing is more useful than just experience, and you have to get out into the world and just do things, and that's how you find out if you want to do them, you know, long term. And that's kind of the thinking I have with this. Long term, I mean, I just want to do it more than anything right now. Make videos and whatever I want to upload, or whatever I'm gonna play by myself anyway. I might as well film it and upload it, right? And when I came to that realization for myself, it made me a lot happier. Like I was in a much better spot mentally after. I'm really afraid of getting hit by this guy because I'm not good at this against this guy. Okay, we didn't actually get hit. That's good. Sorry, I gotta focus up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Where was I? Basically, I'm doing things that make me happy because it's easy to do things that don't make you happy, or ignore the things that make you happy when you have other responsibilities and things you're focusing on. I'm really trying to use stitches. This room is sketchy. Whoa, wow. Come on. There we go. Finally. At this point, I'm just going to pick up soul hearts, because we'll at least get the 4 soul heart one. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, I think something along the lines of not being ready to be an adult, really. Being ill-prepared to do so. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Well, I knew what I was supposed to do, but it didn't make me happy. And what I was supposed to do was go to college, right? That's what is expected of someone when they get out of high school, at least in general. But my goals for life and my goals and going it. Okay, that. What? Okay, sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought when he flew off the map. I don't know how I'm gonna kill this guy. I literally don't know if I can kill this guy. Okay. Anyway, I wonder how the clicker works when I don't have any other characters. That's a real question. Well, I'm gonna take it and then put it back because I don't really care to know. I'm trying to do some things here. Why not? No reason not to. Pick that up. Sorry, I keep getting lost in my train of thought here because things keep happening that are weird. I wasn't ready to make a big decision like that, but again, my hand was kind of forced. I had to do something, and I certainly didn't want to work full time. Not necessarily, because any job that I would have gotten would be something that's not something I would actually want to do. You know, fast food, basically just fast food or some entry-level job, which I didn't actually want to do, but I did because I had to. So I knew I wanted to go to school. I just didn't know for what and where, and that's kind of a really big, you know, problem. You need to know if you want to do something like that. You don't want to waste your time going to the wrong school. And I had a really hard time making that decision. In fact, like every time I had to do anything related to college, I always felt defensive. I guess is how you would I guess I would describe it as defensive. Like more prone to be annoyed, I guess, is what I would deem it as, because I didn't want to. The places I applied to were places I didn't necessarily want to go. I did them because I have some guidance from my parents to help me decide what college I would go to. And also, let's consider for a moment that a little special something happened in 2020, or sorry, beginning of 2019. I don't even remember the dates anymore when COVID started. I guess it basically got up to high gear and like, okay, I'm really messing up this whole no damage thing. You know, I remember hearing about it like in January, like definitely early on in 2020. So I know we definitely went into like lockdown and whatnot after that point, after like March. So basically my senior year of high school was kind of sabotaged, which obviously wasn't ideal, but that also didn't help at all, because I felt like I was starting to become very comfortable in a good way, becoming comfortable with my social, like how I presented myself socially and doing things with people and going out, and I felt really good, and I was probably the happiest I could have been. Well, definitely not happy, but I thought I was in a pretty good spot come 2020 senior year, you know what I mean? But then obviously COVID came along, and I really knew I was going to miss my friends from high school, because they were really, really good friends, in my opinion. Like, I know obviously there are many fish in the sea, so to speak, but it's hard in the moment to imagine the other fish in the sea when you already are, when you're in the present. And it caused a lot of heartache for me. But I had goals for myself for what I wanted to do in high school and what I wanted to achieve. And it just felt like a lot of those goals were okay, we might as well do this guy because we've taken damage at this point. But they were halted because of circumstances outside of my control. And that it was a shitty feeling. This guy's just robbing, not very comfortable with, oh yeah, I can't pick. That would have been a great way to lose the round, huh? I don't know, I'll just pick up the hearts. I feel like it's been 2 floors since I've picked up hearts. I don't know, I don't even remember anymore. God, I get really sidetracked and I don't remember what I was saying, and it was definitely important. COVID cut off my senior year, and man, never doing online classes up until that point, and then suddenly being thrown into kind of the deep end, and not being able to like socialize in person when I had just gotten quite used to doing that. One of my goals for high school was basically just be more social, be more comfortable socially. I often wasn't comfortable, and when I'm with my friends, I feel very good and whatnot, but I want to have confidence. That's the word. I just want to be able to be confident with anyone. You know what I mean? Not feel super uncomfortable right away, and be able to talk and conversate and whatever. And so when I'm with my friends, everything's great. And I'm a very different person, honestly, when I'm with my friends. I'm always trying to make them laugh and whatever, and I'm trying to be the funny guy. But like when I'm by myself, I become very like secluded. I can become very secluded. And I just wanted to work on it. The best way to, get better at something is to practice, right? So once I felt more comfortable, like I was just like talking to random people. I was like, hey, what's up? In high school. And that worked really well. I made some friends who were underclassmen and whatnot, where I probably wouldn't have if I didn't do that. You know what I mean? And just being able to say yes more often also. Because sometimes, sometimes being able to say yes is really important to like give yourself fun experiences. I was often the person who would say, nah, I'm busy, just because I kind of didn't really want to go. But if I ended up going, I would actually have a lot of fun. So I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. And this run is going really, really slow because I have no damage. We're almost at 55 coins too, at least. So that's good. Alright, at this point I've given up on the whole not taking damage thing, clearly. It's also a struggle to fight bosses when you have very, very low attack. I don't know where Stitches is, but I would like his assistance. There he is. Oh, actually Stitches will do really well against these guys, huh? They're technically multiple parts. Where did he go? Oh, just got an email from Professor. I don't know what it says. I'll have to check after I'm done here. Yeah, I think knockback will genuinely help, honestly, because with the lack of damage we have, at least we can keep them away a little bit. Maybe. That's the hope. Alright, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Spawn me into that guy. Yeah, I guess another goal. I was really, really sad that I was gonna... Well, it felt like I wasn't gonna see my friends again, you know what I mean? And obviously we thought, you know, maybe COVID will end sooner or later, but it just kept going and going. And I graduated high school during COVID and whatnot, so I never really got to have a normal senior year and never really got to have my senior banquet is what they call it, basically like a senior prom type thing. And I mean, I wasn't super hurt about that. I did want, at least like during high school, to like have a meaningful relationship with someone. Like romantically, of course, is what I mean. It's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to expect someone to want that too in high school, because like we're very young. You know what I mean? And but that's what I wanted, right? Oh my god. I don't want to lose this run. That'd be sad. But it's hard to expect that out of someone. And you also, again, goes back to the confidence thing. I wanted more confidence for that reason as well. It was kind of a double thing. I wanted socially to be more confident. And that also meant socially more confident with girls, women, whatever. Okay, I really hate these guys. These guys are freaking impossible to kill with this stupid build. I feel like I've gotten like no items. Am I crazy? I'm trying to remember the last item room I got, and I think I keep forgetting to take item rooms. But I wanted to be confident with women, basically. And I did have relationships in high school, don't get me wrong, and I feel like I definitely could have had more, but my standards were high, and I didn't want just some person, you know what I mean? And yeah, obviously there's social pressure to date someone or like girls or whatever. Basically every time I was in a relationship in high school was because someone was like, yeah, you should totally date that person. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that was the right play at all. I needed to like them to be in a relationship with them. And that's seems like very simple, common knowledge, but when you hear someone likes you, or I was always more prone to date people, or at least I thought, considered it more when I heard that they liked me. You know what I mean? Because then I knew I was like a step ahead. Does that make sense? Like I was in the right direction. Also just trying to avoid names and whatever for people who actually know me and watch this stuff. Every time I dated, how do I say this? It just wasn't a good experience. I feel like my first, I guess you could call it serious relationship. It wasn't that serious, but one that went on for a while was one that was kind of toxic and wasn't good for my health, I don't think. I think even before this relationship, I was a much happier person, and I genuinely feel like that brought me, oh my god, I genuinely feel like that relationship brought me like down to a very mentally not well place. Like I don't ever recall having like depression or anything like that before this relationship, and afterward I felt like horrible. It was very toxic in the sense that it was a very off and on relationship and things clearly weren't working, but oh, this is interesting. We can't take it on the simple fact that we want the heart container thing and we're almost there. So we have to say no. But I would have taken it otherwise. Relationship wise, it was very toxic because again, I wasn't a very confident person, and this person wasn't much of a ray of sunshine either. They made it very hard to be happy because they kept bringing me down to their level, if that makes sense. And their level was very sad and a person who was very hurt in a lot of ways. And it brought me down to their level. And I'm a person who loves to try to help people, but obviously day in, day out, when you hear problems and things that you can't fix or they're not willing to fix after you try to help, it gets very tiring. It gets very, very tiring. Anyway, yeah, just grab it. It's fine. It gets very tiring on your psyche, and again, like you throw the words like "I love you" around, and when it confuses you, man. It just really confuses you and puts you in a really bad spot. I thought this person was like the only person I could talk to and whatnot, and that wasn't the case at all, but that's what I thought in my head. And when I was in like the lowest of spots, this is the person I would turn to, and it wouldn't help. You know what I mean? It would honestly just make it worse. It's not my first foray with dating at that point, but like my first real long-term relationship was not good, and that put me in a bad spot. Like after I stopped going on and off with this girl, I basically like swore off freaking dating people. Like that's how bad it was, man. So I swore it off because I was like, I can't deal with that again. And so maybe I know this was like freshman year of high school up until like maybe early what's it called, sophomore year. So for a little bit of time, but like my whole rest of my sophomore year, definitely into my junior year, like I wasn't even not even thinking about dating anyone. And it's funny because like I had people in my life who I knew liked me, right? But because of that super bad experience, unwilling to even give them a chance, even though they seemed like a lot better than the person I was with. And it's funny to think that like that whole thing could have ruined like potentially other relationships, which could have been very good. Considering now, going away from high school and looking at my relationships now with people, do I regret some things? Yeah, sure. I definitely do. But with the person I'm with now, I don't regret at all. I'm very happy that I chose this person, and it happened in a way which I couldn't have asked for anything else to happen. And it's funny because again, life is funny where you meet people in the weirdest of ways, in the weirdest of circumstances. Moving on from depressing topics and moving on to something a little more happier. I guess this episode is going to be about relationships or something. So moving to my current relationship in high school as a senior, at this point, I had never done a sport. I never really had the time. I always worked a job sort of after school. And again, as the years of high school went on, I wanted to develop my goals. And if you remember, those goals were, to be more social and to be more involved in school and stuff. Because obviously, if you're involved in after school stuff, I didn't realize those were purple. Nice. If you're involved with after school stuff, you are involved more socially. And so I was part of the student government as the treasurer starting like junior year because of a girl that I liked. I joined because there was a girl I liked. And basically all of my decisions to do anything really were because like I kind of had a slight attraction to somebody, and yeah, it kind of worked out that way. And so again, in senior year, I wanted to do a sport that year. I really wanted to do a sport because I had done some extracurriculars. I was in writing club. I had student government. And so I really wanted to do something else too. So I chose swimming. And the reason I chose swimming was because the girl that my friends convinced me I liked was a swimmer. So I did it. At least I had someone I knew, and I had never swum competitively up until that point, but I was like, whatever, let's just do it. But obviously, if you can sense at all where this story is going, the girl I thought I liked, I clearly didn't like. Basically, there was one rule on the swim team, And that was no swim cest, no dating other swimmers. And I, well, you know, I don't follow those rules, so I was trying, you know, I was trying to get romantic. I wasn't trying. I wasn't purposely going out of my way to, but I ended up getting romantically involved with multiple people. Not like I was a player or anything. Also, we gotta we gotta focus. Sorry, I have to cut the story short here because, well, we'll continue next time. I really don't want to die. That's the biggest thing. Alright, where are you, Mom? Oh my gosh, dude. This is scary. Oh my gosh. My god, dude. I can't right now. This is way too much. Dude. After all that? Are you kidding? Dude, well, thanks for watching anyway. That was so dumb. I was too caught up telling my story. I didn't even realize how low my health was getting. I had no damage that whole run. Anyway, see you in the next one.